Okay, this is part 7, I think, and we are heavy into the tear down and rebuild and lengthen, which there's not many videos about lengthening the boat. I see a lot of people with the waterlog problem that I had. I swear, all these boats have foam in them, and the foam absorbs water. And then pretty soon your boat weighs 1,000 pounds more than it did when you bought it. But I don't know, they still do it. So now I did see one guy, a real high-end boat builder, and he said he laminates everything where the foam goes and seals it in lamination before he puts the floor back in. I've seen other guys put the floor in, drill holes in it, pour the foam in it, and stop. But then you're back where you was when your foam got waterlogged. So I don't know. I'm going to seal every compartment, bottom of the floor, every section, every hole, and whether I'm going to put foam in and encapsulate it with resin on top, I don't know. But I don't know. I just hate foam at the moment. What a pain. You know, I would have never tore this boat all to pieces if it hadn't been for the foam. It was a good boat, basically. But anyway, I've cut it, and now I'm building the mold, is what they call this. So I have some corrugated plastic left over from my hurricane windows. I got new windows put in, and now I have a bunch of this that used to be on my windows. And it's pretty tough stuff, tougher than it needs to be. But I'm thinking about making the mold after I put all these beams. I got a 2x6, a 2x10, a 2x8 across on top of the bunks right where the scrates are to keep them straight and support it there. Then I'll level up the top, and then I'll screw down all this plastic so I can start laying the base in here, the hull you might call it. So you can see I was trying yesterday, and I tried to squeeze this plastic up in there, but it would not bend to there. And then I found out that you can cut it on one side and make it go just like that. Look at that. So all you have to do is cut one side of this, and then it'll bend and conform to what you want. So that's probably where that green construction paper, that was another ideal. And that may have worked. And then I'm going to tape over everything with packing tape, because I've seen guys online use packing tape because fiberglass doesn't stick to it. So I think I'll cover all this with packing tape. And I don't know if it would stick to this plastic either. So I think I'll cover it with packing tape, do my final, seal it up that way in between. The stuff bends down right where the skates are, straight. But that's where I'm at now. Still got a big mess. I sanded a whole bunch, made everything in my shop white. Had my car here, had to move it out. My truck is still white. It's supposed to be red, but now it's white truck. So you know, everybody hates the sanding. It is a mess. So I sanded a bunch. I still have more sanding to do. I just did all I could, and then I got out of here. I let the dust settle. Tried to blow it out with a big blower, and that blew out a lot, but you know, can't get it all. So here's what it looks like, all the foam out. You know, some of the foam I left was real dry. But all the foam in the bottom, I pulled a piece out yesterday that I could still squeeze water out, and it's been sitting in here in the dry garage for a couple of months, open like this for a while, and yet the water will not drain out of the foam. So people thinking I'm just going to drain it out, that does not work. It will not drain out of, I mean, that's what the ideal was. You got drain plugs in the back, had holes in every compartment, connecting every other compartment. That sounds like a great ideal, but some water will come out, and what stays in the foam stays there. And the foam weighs a ton. There's at least 1,000 pounds in the bottom of this boat. That's why I thought it needed extension. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Thought I'd start another little video here. I just put up the last part. So when I get enough, this will be another part. I'm holding up my transom and everything with an engine puller. That's done a good job though. I could raise it up and down and put it wherever I want. Tore a bunch of the stringers out. Some of them was a little too rotten. These over here I just cut back so I could overlay the hull before I then patch back to remake me some stringers. And these are good. But that's where we're at. I'll get back to making this mold. Pretty soon I'll get to lay some of the floor and hull in here. Keep wanting to call it the floor. Okay, till later. Well, good morning. It's the next day, and it had a hell of a storm last night. I don't know any people that have a metal building know that a hard rain, it is so loud inside you can't even think. I mean, I was going to do the finish of yesterday's video, and it was so noisy in here. I said, well, I'll just have to get it tomorrow. So I'm getting ready to sand, but I wanted to show you the floor, the hull that I made out of this plastic. I mean, that tunnel right there, I spent half a day trying to force that in to conform to make that tunnel right there. And I struggled. I was under there. I had jacks and boards, and I was trying to push it up in there and make it, and it was not working. And I was about to give up and try foam board or project board or something. And then I figured out you can cut this stuff and make it do anything you want. I'm like, oh, so that is the trick. So I got in here and used some pieces and then screwed them down to the boards under the boat to try to get the scrates there straightened out. Over there, I'm gonna cut that and pull it down a little more to get it flat. But you can bend it inside corners, outside corners. I mean, this stuff is great to work with once you figure it out. I mean, that tunnel, I'm amazed it came out so good. It's perfect. And then you just put boards through there, and then boards and screws. And I'll go over here and I'll show you how this, you can see how that tunnel turned out. It is perfect. I don't have to do nothing to it. I made inside corners and outside corners, and then put boards across underneath of it and screwed it down. Then I screwed it on the outside right here. There we are. Yeah, screwed it right through the hole there and underneath of it and across there. Then you come in here and you cut the heads off, grind them down flush, because it'll be overlaying on both sides. And I put all the screws, like right there's a screw head right there, and not the head, the screw part of it. I cut it off, flushed it down. Then you'll lay fiberglass over that. And then you take the screw out. When you're done, you take the screw out and you only have a little I mean, you don't have a hole all the way through because the new glass here won't have a hole in it. The only hole will be in the hull. And so when you take the screw out, you can just put a dab of your epoxy, I mean, fiberglass resin, whatever, putty. You can just put a dab of that in each hole and patch it back. But anyway, that keeps these boards all, plus it connects the two hulls together and gets me going on putting it back together and holding it there. And I'm bracing it off the floor yet, but I got to get in here and sand, and I'm procrastinating. I hate that, but I got to get in here and sand some more. But this stuff here, I'm telling you, if you got any of this around and you cut it like, can't hardly show you, there, like that. If you cut it, you can do an inside bend or an outside bend. It's like that. And that makes you a perfect mold. You can bend it either way. So this is one piece from down there all the way to here. And it's did inside bends, outside bends, inside bends. Came up the side here, just cutting it. This is cut right here, and then I'll put a board on it right across there when I go higher. Kind of leaving that side open for the time being so I can reach through there and start laying up across the floor here. And I'm getting my fans all ready. I'm gonna try this fan blowing to that fan, blowing out the door, see if I have better luck. The other day I had to do that. Then I had to go straight to the garden hose and hose off, change clothes. It's quite the thing. Oh yeah, I'm doing a little test today too. There's some plywood. Resin isn't normally that red, but I'll show you what happened over here. I bought dye, and I bought a resin and all that. Get back over here. So I got out of here this morning and thought I'd mix me up a little batch because I want to test how this stuff sticks. Right? So I got some MEK and I got that. Well, I grabbed it this morning. And guess what I grabbed? A little bit of the dye. I put it in some resin, and I was only going to mix me up about an ounce so I could do me a little test here. And I thought, man, I never seen it so red before. And then after a while, I thought, I wonder if I got the dye instead of the MEK. So I went and looked, and yep, I mixed dye in with the resin, so that was never going to harden up. So then I had to make another batch and put the MEK in it. As you can see, this is the batch right here with the MEK, but there's still enough dye in that cup to make it that red anyway. And these are the ones that were just pure resin and MEK, these two here. And so I went back over them with the mix with the MEK. So this will harden up, and I've noticed before that if you put a hot batch, if your resin isn't getting hard, you can put a hot batch over it, and it'll harden up what's not hard. Now, that's not the way to build anything, and that's not the way to do it. But you can sometimes bail yourself out of a problem by doing that. But anyway, I got it mixed right. What's going to do here is I put it on this plastic, which is what I'm making the hole out of. And then I got it some tape here. That's the end of the tape there. So I put some packing tape down there and put a little strip of 1708. So I got a little piece of 1708 here, straight to the plastic. Another piece here, straight on the tape. And then another piece here with the correct mix to start with, straight on the plastic. So I can get an idea how this is going to work. Will I need to tape the whole thing, or will it just come off of this plastic and I won't have to tape it? So that's a little experiment I got going. And later on, I'll fill that into maybe the next video here after it sets up. Now this is starting to kick here because this popsicle stick, it's sticking to it. So, oop, there we are. It's still gooey. It's only been a half hour or something, so it's not been long enough to set up. And by this evening, this stuff will be set up, and I'll have maybe some results for you on what you could do. Hope you guys learn from my mistakes. Yeah, make sure you don't use your die for your MEK, because that won't work. And I'm gonna have to sand as much as I hate to. So I'll catch you guys later, and I'm gonna have to get in here and make a big old mess and see how much of it I could blow out the door. But I'll get back with you later. I'll probably end this one and put it on yesterday, as a matter of fact. All right, bye.